Hi. So I'm trying to take a new approach to this whole um, YouTube thing. I decided I want to try a podcast route. We'll see how it goes. I basically thought that the last videos I was doing wasn't necessarily fitting my niche correctly because it was just about random stuff. It was literally random videos about random stuff, and I had to work on sticking to something in particular. So I found out after posting a few shorts that my basically I've been going through a rough time this past few weeks, but that's where the inspiration to come out with like what do I wish someone said to me videos, but I actually made them to shorts. And apparently people you guys like the 10-second shorts, but I want to still practice my long form content to see what style of long form content fits. I'm still going to do the shorts, don't worry, because sometimes I just think, oh goodness, I really, really am lazy, or oh, I really want to say this fast little thing, but I don't want to make a whole video for it, so then I'll just pull in my phone. I'll just pull in my phone and then do a short real quick basically saying about how proud I am of you guys of getting out of bed and actually like conquering the world basically. And I do understand it can be hard. Basically, I was a little sad. I don't think I have depression. I'm not diagnosed with depression. I'm not diagnosed with any sort of mental health disorder. I even asked my therapist if I am autistic. She said no. So that is verified. That's the only thing I know I'm not. And I just also know that people like the aspect of vulnerable, non filtered talking. So I'm going to try and see how that makes the difference. I also feel like I um, can, it's going to be easier to talk about what I do um, to reach all my goals in all the different areas I want to, in addition to me trying to become financially independent. And as I make this video, there is sections in my head that is forming that I should do and that people could maybe skip to the section that they care about. That would actually be so much more interesting actually. But you know what? I think I might just post this anyway because this is me announcing the podcast and introducing it. And then maybe I'll give you like a weekly update of my progress with because I just moved into my dorm. I don't know if you guys can tell, the background's changed. I basically went from campus, my second job being a resident assistant. 2 weeks off of that, I have to move back to my parents' house. And then I had to move back to the same campus. And now I'm here. And it's been a journey. And I am finally in my dorm and I'm finally gonna stay here for all no for like almost 9 months. Minus the breaks that my school is like, get out of here. Get the out of here. Other than that, other than that, um, this place is mine and I finally have a home. Somewhere that I don't have to worry about scrambling out of after 5 weeks or 2 weeks. But it's okay. I handle stress well, I think. We'll see. I am going to be a senior this year, so that's why I'm handling everything with much more courage than my freshman year. My freshman year, oh my goodness. I might actually just make these like rambling stories about my life. So, my freshman year, I'm not ashamed to say any of this. I have no shame whatsoever. Actually, a tiny bit. I have a tiny bit, un poco. So my freshman year of college, after my dad and sibling dropped me off, they were about to leave, and then I started breaking down into tears because it suddenly hit me all at once. Like, you guys are just gonna leave me here at this place I've never been at before because I did not do any of those tours. When I was supposed to be touring, it was COVID, so I didn't want to do any of those tours during COVID. I scrambled the internet like crazy though, finding out every single possible tiny little thing I could about the school. So I knew like all the rules in the back of my head, and I knew all the policies and all the hours of all the places, and it helped. It helps me so much. And yeah, I really don't regret that. I also think that's good advice if you're going into college. Learn everything you can about all the policies and what you can and cannot bring into the dorms, and like food. That's important. Know where the dining halls are. Like I studied maps. I'm not kidding. But of course I was lost, like any little freshman. But anyways, let me get back to the story. I trailed off. So I started crying my eyes out because I realized that I was in this new place I've never been in before. And my dad like walks back to me and be like, then he hugged me and he was like, "Oh, it's okay." And I'm like crying because I'm like, ah, my roommates aren't even here yet because I was supposed to have two other roommates and none of them were there yet. And so I would be like all alone in that new space. And I didn't even put up any decorations at the time because I didn't think about it. Like, it was a jail cell. I would sit in the I would sit in the window ledge and just kind of watch everyone below because I was on the fifth floor and just thinking, which one is my roommate? Is that you? Is that you? 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 And I think that's funny looking back at it now. But at the time I was very sad and lonely. In that moment. But you know what? Loneliness is I learned over time that loneliness is kind of a phase that comes and goes for me. And I'm happy it is a phase for me. Because lately I've been like the last 2 weeks I've been feeling a little lonely. But that's more internal because I feel now that I have a life purpose, now that I'm getting back into school, I feel less lonely because I have all of my ambitions to accompany me in all my projects. So I can never feel alone with that, which it personally helps me. But it's so hard to get started on that stuff. But anyways, I'm sorry. I keep going off of the story. So yeah, my freshman year, I was a crybaby. You know how many times I cried my freshman year? Actually, I think it was like around 50. uh, but that's also because another sad thing happened that I'm not going to get into today because I'm not ready for that. You can ask me if you want. Um, but then you're going to have to actually go in the comments and comments about and ask. And then if I and then I might make like a little story time. Like I might tell you guys then. If you're curious. But yeah, it that little freshman was gonna wait probably about 5 hours in that room alone before her next roommate showed up, or like the next two roommates kind of showed up. And of course, like they showed up later than they said, but it's okay. That's just me. I'm a very on time person, or at least I try to be. Sometimes it's like I literally can't. It's annoying. Um, but it's okay. And they were nice human beings. They were very thoughtful and sweet people. I just kind of wish they stayed longer because if they ever so happen to watch this video or podcast, whatnot, um, yeah, like they didn't do anything wrong. It's just I understand um, of like why they couldn't stay at UD. Uh, like I kind of I kind of did need to learn how to be alone, which is very hard. It's something I have to keep relearning, unfortunately, though. Like, I go through these cycles of I am alone for X amount of time, and then I have a phase in phase in my life where I'm surrounded by people and I have all the social interaction I could ever desire. And then I'm tossed back into the lonely pit and without warning even. And I'm like, oh, I'll be able to text my friends. No. um, but that's partially because of me and partially because it's like, what do I say? What do I ask them? And then I might have an anxiety. I think if I have anything, it's anxiety, especially in the social area. But you know what? That's what makes me so perky and gives me so much energy to do all the stuff I want. Um, but yeah. So after the roommates showed up, their parents kind of like rearranged the whole room 10 times. That was fun. I kind of was scared and kind of stood back, just letting them, like everyone else, take the lead. I was kind of petrified because I wasn't used to living with roommates. Like I had a roommate before in a middle school summer camp, but that was only for 5 days. These were going to be people I would share my space with for a year if they haven't moved out. But I was mentally preparing for myself for that. And I was sad when they left. I even returned one of their keys for them because I understand it's hard adjusting to college and you don't always know what you want. And I support them because it's hard to be like, hey parents. Like I can't imagine like the fear probably of, hey, I don't want to go here anymore. Like I So anyways, I was hoping to provide you guys with more stories about my move in. So now that I'm a senior, flash into the future 4 years, I know exactly what I'm doing. I know it's not the end of the world because I I know I can exist on my own. I know everything ahead of time. I know how everything works. And even if things do change, they don't change a lot, which is manageable and nice. Then I can, like, basically I just moved everything in, no problem. And my dorm, it has like 3 floors with no elevator. So I tried to tell my family that I don't need a fridge or a microwave now. That's fine. You guys can keep it. And then my family was like, "Oh no, no, we don't want you to suffer without a fridge and microwave. No, your sibling will be fine. They have like their roommates are taking care of the that for them." And I'm like, "No, it's okay. It's really okay. I don't need it. I promise. I know how to live without it. I've done it before." True story. In my sophomore year, I challenged myself, even though I didn't have to. My roommate said, "Yes, please use the fridge and microwave," but I was so stubborn and didn't. It's because I like to train, and I was like, I want to get used to not using it. And so basically, the dining halls are overpriced anyway, so I kind of just have my way of getting like my breakfast in addition to the meals I eat in there because that's how it works. I can eat like 2 meals a day in the dining hall. And the fridge and microwave do help a lot now that I have it because I know how to utilize it. I know what I can put in there. I know what I'm actually going to end up eating and what's going to end up in the garbage after a few weeks. Stuff like that. I also want to try drinking tea. I don't know, I heard it's good for you. I'm gonna try it in the morning. Like I'll ever think about tea in the morning. Nah, it's probably gonna be in the night. You can drink tea at night, right? And I this time like I also decorated my room. That's something I learned after my freshman year because you know how depressing it was my freshman year after my two roommates moved out and moved all their stuff out. I don't think I had any decorations on there and it was so sad. But you know, I had a bunk bed, so that made me feel better. And I like sleeping on the top bunk of the bunk bed. I don't know why people don't because it's like I have the whole sky. It's all my area, all my space. And if there's like a wardrobe right next to me, I can put stuff on it. Like I can utilize spaces that I otherwise can't. And also, I think it's because like I'm a fairly short person and like shorter than the average person, I guess. And I think it's also like a subconscious thing of I want to be taller. So that's kind of why I decide that I like the top bunk because it makes me feel taller. And then I can look down on my roommates walking in. Because my two roommates did end up staying in my sophomore year. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place with these stories. Let me know if you need me to tell one story at a time, or if you like me jumping around, or if you even get this far in the video. Because I can imagine it's probably very, very boring for you. Because you're like, what is this person even talking about? It's so boring. I don't want to hear about her college experience. Ah, I don't know, unless you want to just pass the time. But yeah, my soft. Should I? No, my freshman year. Let me finish the story. I had a friend who was apparently living in the same dormitory as me. And we watched a movie together one night because we're in the same building. And then she said, Hey, do you mind if I move in with you? Or I don't know how the transact. I don't know how it came up, but she wanted to move in. And I said, Yes, please, please move in, please. I really want a roommate. And I really want it to be you. Because why not live with your friend? Like, I was so happy. I personally like helped her carry everything up the probably two flights of stairs. And you know, when I have that much excitement, nothing's too heavy for me. I will be sweating and out of breath, but I will be fine up here. Because honestly, though, a lot of the physical stuff is like a mental game as long as I have the muscles to actually lift it. Because, fun fact, look at these tiny arms. I mean, I try, but it's like I'm not that strong. But what I can lift, I can go far. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of me. I'm very proud of you for whatever accomplishments you've done. And yeah, sorry, my drawer won't close because I wanted to. I have a little desk drawer. I am also I love organizing. I love organizing stuff. You will see that like I have little compartments for everything and I have everything sorted and organized. I don't think I have OCD. Actually, maybe a little. Just a little bit though. Like one time in fourth grade, my teacher, like I had a pencil in a certain spot of the desk. You know, like in the front of the desk, there's like a little kind of groove in the wood of the table in the front where you can put your pencil and it'll stay still and not roll all over the place. Well, I love to put my pencil like right in the middle. And then the teacher was like walking around, and apparently this was like something she was doing on purpose that I found out later. But it's okay. It's like a tiny thing. It doesn't bother me a lot, but it's like I like the pencil there. So she picked the pencil up and then she placed it down like on the side or something, like out of place. Um, and then I just fixed it because like I was calm while she was holding the pencil and talking about it because I know she's gonna put the pencil down because she better put the pencil down. That's my pencil. I'm also a little like if things are mine, really don't like people stealing them. Like give it back to me at least. You can pick it up. Just don't like steal it. Don't take it and run. Yeah. That really bothers me if people like steal my stuff. And it's like I know I put this there. Where is it? Because then it makes me feel like I'm crazy and I need a little sanity check. But I actually have a different story about that. The roommate that likes to steal my, well, that would like, not steal, but just, she would hide my markers or something like that. But that, she was a fun roommate, honestly. Also because, like, at a certain point, she would, like, tell me where all of them are if I can't find them. It's like a fun little game. Because that's fine, because I got my stuff back. But yeah, um, the fourth grade teacher put the stuff on the table and said, "Oh well." Then I moved it back, and she at the parent teacher conference, she told my mom about it, and then my mom told me about it. And then she's like, "You have OCD," and I'm like, "Mom, I don't have OCD." But now I'm like, maybe a little with some stuff. Like I can handle my room being disorganized as long as it's temporary. It needs to at some point get to a space of organized. And my roommate, I'm gonna quickly tell this last story. My roommate that liked to hide my markers occasionally. Like sometimes I honestly thought I was going crazy, but then I realized, wait, who in this apartment would hide my markers? So then like if I feel like something's missing sometimes, it's like I would check, double check, triple check just to make sure because I don't want to falsely accuse this roommate. And then after I am 100% sure it's not any of my doing, my misplacement, I go and I knock on the door and I go, "Hi, do you know where my markers are?" And then they would be like, mm. And then we would play like a hot cold game, like warmer, warmer, colder, colder kind of game. That would be fun. Yeah. It was fun because I got my markers back afterwards. But also, it's kind of like a little adventure. And we were bored, and it kind of gave an excuse for me to talk to my roommates. So I also appreciate it in the long run. But I honestly do kind of like living in a single now. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna stop telling the stories and just say what's happening right now. I do like living in the single because I get privacy and I can basically be as loud and obnoxious as I want, within reason because there's neighbors. But I don't have to worry about. Basically, it's just me being awkward about like if I want to do calls, if I want to do talking to my podcast, then they would have to know every single little word and maybe even be in some of it. So me, I totally didn't plan it this way. Actually, I did 100%. I 100% planned everything like this. Like I was like, I need a single. I don't know why. I just know I will need it in the future. And then surprise, surprise, I actually do. I know. I'm starting to listen to my gut more. I'm proud of myself for that. It's so hard to do that. But anyways, if you guys want to know any more about my ramblings, my little story ramblings, feel free to ask me any questions about it. And I hope that your guys' semester, if you're in college, or your guys' school, if you're in high school or middle school or whatever you're in, even if you're non school, if you're heading back to work after vacation, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. Please let me know in the comments what you think, if this is trash, if this is okay because I definitely know this ramblings cannot be good. I cannot even keep a straight face during it. Ah. And I'm watching my face and it feels so crazy. Um, Imagine watching your face the whole time as you talk. I hate it. But no, it's okay. I'll learn to be okay. But gotta look more in the camera. Anyways, so I'll see you guys in the next podcast, okay? I don't know how often I'm gonna be doing it, no promises. But yeah, bye.